Hello, my friends, fellow isolates and quarantites and what have yous. It's Cary here. We're going to be bored for a little bit, so let's do something to fill the time. I'm going to do some rig rundowns, so I'm going to show you all the gear I've acquired over the years that is at my house currently, because, some of it ends up living at friends' houses and so on and so forth. Today I'm going to talk about my first real guitar. This is a 2012. It's a Les Paul Studio Faded Edition. It's in the worn brown finish, so it's just a super light spray of nitrocellulose lacquer. No binding, no binding along the neck either. Came stock with pretty decent. I think these are Clusons. I'm not sure, but the sort of greenish pearl tuning heads from Gibson, which are pretty solid. Also came stock with the Burst Bucker Pro pickups, so I've got that one in the neck still. Ooh, that's a little harsh. Let's try this again. So the neck. Yeah, sort of pretty buttery and warm. And the bridge pickup I changed out. That one also was a Burst Bucker Pro. It is now a Guitar Fetish GFS. I think they call it the 59 Classic or something like that. I do find it is a little bit sort of harsh on the high end, so I tend to roll the tone back on it a fair bit to get where I want to be. But here's with the tone. Call it about halfway. There's that neck again. So I usually spend most of my time on the neck position. I find it's just a little woollier and warmer and nicer overall. Otherwise haven't done too many modifications to it. I took the factory pickguard off of it. Same knobs. Damage I've done over the years. Where the pickguard was, there's quite a bit of honest picking wear now. The back has, honest buckle rash, nothing too wild. And then along the bottom lower bout, we've got quite a bit of wear. Again, it's just a single coat of nitro lacquer, so not a lot of solid protection there. It gets dinged up and it gets scratched, and that's fine. It's a plain guitar. It's not really meant as a wall hanger or anything like that. It's been gigged, it's been dropped. I did drop it once on the headstock, and I was terrified that I would end up with the classic Gibson sort of broken neck. I did not, fortunately. I caught a little bit of a ding just on the top corner there, and I bent the tuning machine for my G-string, so right now it's kind of off kilter a little bit up there. It's a good workhorse guitar. It rocks really hard. It doesn't do the spanky, single coil thing at all. I don't have a coil tap set up on it. I am out of tune, so we're going to address that. Me. Hope you guys are staying safe and happy and healthy out there and trying to stay sane. Finding some projects to delve into. Maybe I'm just personally out of tune. That's very, very honestly a possibility. So yeah, living in the middle position on this thing is not too bad. As you can hear, it's pretty dark, pretty woolly. But if you want to get a little nasty, you can get up the neck. It's a Les Paul. It sounds like a Les Paul. It plays like one. It's kind of kicked to shit, but I really like it. It's, yeah. I nicknamed it Woody. That's the guitar's name, I guess. And only because it's sort of a, you know, dark walnut sort of colored wood. Oh yeah, solid mahogany. Mahogany cap on it as well. You know, traditionally Gibson does a maple cap, but this one's mahogany all the way through. Standard tunematic bridge with the wraparound tailpiece. Yeah, the electronics in this thing, maybe I'll, you know what, I can edit. I discovered that there's actually a PCB that the pots are mounted to. Now, I'm sure in a world where you're replacing your pickups with traditional Gibson pickups, that's very easy to do. And obviously, you know, any pot replacement it can still be done. The pots are just sort of, you know, soft mounted and soldered into the PCB. But it's really kind of a pain in the ass because I did have to cut the sort of little 4-pin Molex connector in order to splice on the wiring from the pickup I put in this one. And yeah, it's just generally a little bit uglier than you would want it to be. But, you know, it was, I think, a $900 guitar when I bought it brand new, which sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of the big G of Gibson guitars, it's actually going to be one of the cheaper ones that they've made and released. And trust me, I've seen a lot of, you know, 1500 up to the 2000, up into the the traditionals and the standards that really aren't set up very nicely or don't have a good neck or whatever it may be. And this one came set up pretty nicely out of the box. The neck is really true. I'm sure you can't really get a good feel for it. But yeah, for an 8-year-old guitar, it's pretty much still straight as an arrow. I do a couple truss rod adjustments here and there, but nothing too drastic. And yeah, it's a great guitar for me. I really like it. So yeah, that's Woody. That's my Gibson Les Paul. Stay tuned for many, many more of these.